Hey, 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 boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome back to the Speaker Snacks Show. I'm Robert Kennedy III, RK3, that's me. And here is the show where you can grab bite-sized bits of power-packed goodness that you can grab on the go. I have an amazing, awesome, phenomenacious guest this evening, Marquesa Pettway. How are you doing, Marquesa?
I am doing fabulous. Thank you for having me, Robert.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're able to join us here on Speaker Snacks. We're going to jump right in because we don't want to make this long. It's a snack. It goes down real quick and it's good, Twinkie style.
Yeah, actually, I'm the Godiva snack, so I go down good and smooth.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, listen, let's jump right in. We want to create value here for all of our aspiring beginning speakers out there. And this may be even good for those that have been speaking for a bit, but they need a recharge. They may have capped out on their fee, or they've capped out at a certain space, and they need to reinvigorate their process so that they can move to that next level. So here's the first question that I want to ask you. When you started out speaking, what was the biggest challenge that you encountered?
That's interesting. The money. The money. And I got downsized. First of all, I've been speaking full time for 12 years. I got downsized in 1993. Really, Marquesa? 2005.
Right.
Sorry, guys. I moved to New York in 1993 to work for television news. I'm getting my dates confused. But anyway, when I got downsized, I said, all right, this is my chance to do something crazy out of the box and maybe live an extra dream. So I've had a great corporate dream, and that was to be a motivational speaker, professional speaker, all that good stuff. And then I talked to some folks in the industry. They told me about the seminar companies. All three of them offered me a contract, but since they all wanted 2 weeks, I went with 2. They paid little to nothing. It's a joke. It's like $2 an hour. And boy, was I struggling. So it was money. I mean, I came from making 6 figures, come on, in corporate America to maybe making 20,000,
wow,
25,000, and I live in New York City. So for me, it was money, but I needed to sort of do the work. I needed to pull back the curtains. I needed to learn the business, and that was my boot camp. So money was tough for me. Yeah.
So how did you start? What was the thing that got you over the hump? That money hump. You're making 20,000 and living in New York City. That's like 2 months of an apartment, right?
You know what got me over that hump was, I already knew what my expertise was, because I just sort of leveraged what I already knew in corporate and just took that to the next level. But I needed additional ways to make money. And a lot of my buddies would say, hey, Marquesa, can you teach me how to do this? I'm like, I don't coach. I need an audience, and then one of my buddies said, but I'll pay you for it. I will pay you for it. And I said, okay. So that's when I started my own academy, virtual academy. Now it's gone on 10 years that I've had it. And that right there brought in a lot of income. I started to, back then, Zoom and that kind of stuff wasn't around, but we had teleseminars. So I started to do teleseminars any way I could leverage myself and make money, honestly, but under the umbrella of that professional speaker, I did it. And that's a really huge piece of advice for aspiring speakers. The money may not always be there. You may have to sacrifice. You may need to do a boot camp style like I did. But remember, you can diversify your income, and that's really what's allowed my income to go way up, is diversification of it.
So when a speaker is getting started out, what would you say are the top 3 things that they need to work on? I mean, you were making a certain amount of money, but you had to kind of strategize and figure out what were the next steps that you needed to take. So what are the top 3?
I love that question. Number 1, you got to know your it. That's what I call it. That's what I teach my clients. Know your it. Your it is, what is the problem I'm solving, and who am I solving this problem for?
Right.
And guys, that's huge. I mean, we look at this industry and we think, oh my gosh, I'm going to get in front of a bunch of people. I'm going to motivate them. Right. And that's great. Motivation may be your style. But if you're going to get paid for your expertise, you've got to solve a problem. It could be in leadership. It could be with customer service. It could be with how someone dresses. It could be helping people love more. There's a million different problems you can solve, but choose one. Don't try to choose 15. So don't make that mistake. So choose a lane, pick a lane, you know, the in and the who. The second thing is, you know, do your homework, you know, get educated. Don't think, it upsets me. I'm big time in this professional speaking industry. Do not think you can just walk into this industry and be successful, you know, without pulling back your arms, going to conferences, getting involved in the community, getting a mentor, pulling back and doing your homework. I mean, you think you can go to law school? You know, you think you can become a lawyer without that, or an accountant, or even a teacher? Everything requires preparation. Our business is so much more than speaking. Frankly, that's the easy part. Our business is about being able to solve a problem for our clients and being able to do it over and over again. And do it over a long period of time and be respected, so that CNN and all these different media outlets will call you, and that people want to interview you on their radio show. You want to stay relevant. And a lot of it is about positioning. And I would say number 3. First is you know, second one is get educated. Don't just try to jump in and hope things will work out. And 3, you know what? And this kind of ties to the money thing. Yeah. Well, it really depends on the kind of speaker you are. But if you're like a lot of us, where you're on your own and you have your own clients, you're an entrepreneur. That's why I invented the word speakerpreneur. Years ago. You're an entrepreneur. So that means you have to have a mindset of running your business, being responsible for the marketing, the sales, all those different pieces. Now, there are speakers that are, you know, corporate trainers, and that's fine as well. And they have a whole different slew of responsibility and things they need to worry about. But for those of you that feel like, hey, I want this company, this client from my company, or that client, you want to choose yourself, because freedom is my most important value, Robert. I want freedom, and I like to be able to make my own hours. I think I kind of learned that with the seminar companies, because I did it for 4.5 years and I got burnt out. And I loved it. I loved the audiences, but I didn't love the hustle and the fact that I had to speak 6 hours a day and then get in a car, go to my next city. So I loved it, but not long term. And literally I had to leave the company because I started to drive to the wrong city because I was exhausted. I mean, it became a health thing for me. So I quickly realized I need to do this on my terms. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, understand what that means and get ready for that world.
Awesome. So listen, you said at the beginning of this, choose choose your topic. There's a bunch of different things that you can speak about, but you've got to choose one. But for the beginning speaker, that can be challenging. How do you decide what topic to choose?
You ask the best questions, Robert. Please do not go and pick something out of the blue. Don't go that bugs me. It really does. When someone says, well, I'm going to be a leadership expert. Well, have you ever been in a leadership position? No. Have you written a book on? No. So here's the thing. Dig back into what you know. Think about, what is it? There's a million different skills or expertise, areas of expertise you come up with when you work in your corporate job. Or even if you were a serial entrepreneur, what is something that you did really well? It could be the power of focus. Maybe you were really good about getting things done and you want to teach other folks. Maybe you were great at time management. Maybe you were great at being healthy because everyone just says, please, could you help me lose weight? What is it that you know very well that you could just help other people do it with your eyes closed? But please have some level of credibility in it. You know, we really have a problem in this industry with folks that just come in and because they're well-spoken and they can motivate their butts off, they feel like they can just do anything. And I think it's hard to sell yourself. If you want to charge the big fees, you need to have something that backs that up. You know, so that would be my thing. dig into your resume. You know,
Right.
this industry needs to be respected like any other job. And if you were interviewing for a job, what would they say? They would say, well, tell me your level of experience in this area. So why not start with something you know and then evolve? I remember Francine Ward, who's CSP, she's in our industry and professional speaking industry, and she went to law school and big time trademark lawyer, but she really wanted to talk about some of her struggles. She,
Right.
you know, part of her story was, you know, being a lady of leisure, so to speak. And she wrote a book called Esteemable Acts and wanted to talk about that. Now, she just came out and talked about it. Now, granted, that was her situational experience. It may have been a little hard for her to build her tribe. You know what I mean? But so she went with something she knew, really got her money in place, got her credibility in place, got all her marketing in place. Then she evolved over into something else she wanted to do. So start with what you know and grow from there.
Awesome. Awesome. Just want to reiterate that for folks. You can pivot a little bit later on, but start where you are, start what you know, start with something that you are amazing at. And even if you're not 100% sure what that is, grab your community, grab the people that know you well, ask them, what do they think that you know well? What would they come to you for? What is the thing that when they think of Robert, when they think of Marquesa, what is the other expertise that they associate with you? So start there. Speaker Snacks, it's been amazing to have you on today, Marquesa. Thank you so much for spending time with us here.
Thank you, Robert. It's been fun. Go out there. We do need you to change the world. So thanks for having me. This has been fun.
Awesome.